Once you get money, upgrade these 20 things immediately. The life advice we give here will come in 2 stages. The first few suggestions involve the financial-related actions that bolster the acquisition of your windfall of money, while the other remaining tips will talk about the personalized upgrades you can make now that you are rich. But, of course, suddenly becoming wealthy is not a walk in the park. You still have to plan things out, or the sudden wealth might ruin your life instead of helping your circumstances. So here goes. The suggestions in this video are 20 in total, and they cover things you can do to manage your windfall. Number 1. Get a lawyer immediately. A tax lawyer or one who deals in finance-related law will help you navigate the hidden bombs of the IRS or its equivalent in other jurisdictions. Otherwise, not paying your taxes as required could land you in jail in some countries. That said, there is such a thing as tax havens where the authorities leave you be to enjoy your money. Also, countries like the British Virgin Islands and Belize have substantial tax rebates. We're talking about offshore banking and investments here. And did you know that almost all countries allow you to buy citizenship? The going rate for an American resident passport is as much as $1 million spent on property, so your golden American visa can be fast-tracked. As such, you would need legal representation to make the right moves as you hit the ground running. Number 2. Get an accountant. Depending on how much you now have, you might need to employ the services of a seasoned financial advisor. Apparently, they're usually good with numbers and can objectively see the bigger picture better than you can. For instance, all you know is you have upwards of, say, $2 million, and more often than not, that can cloud your judgment. So, outsourcing the management of your funds is a good idea. An accountant will help you grasp the reach of your money. For instance, you might assume you can purchase a Bugatti right away, and if you do, you'd be unable to replace your daily use car in 5 years. That is the sort of advice you'd get. They can also tell you where to invest your money, or whether to invest at all if, perchance, the cash is a lot. Number 3. Go incognito. You realize that you're rich now, and in the worst case scenario, anyone out there or even close relations might try something illegal. There are bad people everywhere, so don't make yourself an easy target, especially since you're rich now. So keep your secrets to yourself for as long as you can, and only divulge information on a need-to-know basis, if at all. And it has to be someone you trust. Let's also advise you not to make new friends. Some desperate people will go as far as orchestrating a long con. They might even marry you. Then, 5 to 10 years down the line, they entrap you. Even your friends and family will become more amiable just so they can get at your money. So watch out. Number 4. Time to regroup. Give some thought to the extent of your new wealth. Some people sometimes think their new wealth is the be-all and end-all of their lives. But the truth is, beyond the newly acquired wealth, there is still a life to live from day to day, and it doesn't involve partying every time. Otherwise, you burn out, and something even more dangerous could happen to you. So shun the temptation to become an instant high roller and plan your new life responsibly. Also, remember that any new luxury purchases you make can become monetary sinkholes. This is because you would have to maintain such assets somehow. Expensive watches need expensive safes. Luxury cars can deteriorate if left idle, and keeping them is just as expensive as their asking price. Mansions need to be staffed, so you must consider all these factors and decide what lifestyle you want to lead. And as we mentioned before, an accountant can help. Number 5. The budget is king. A budget allows you to stretch out your money so it lasts for as long as you want it to. Your accountant is ever present to walk you through. However, the hardest thing about a budget is sticking to it. And in truth, there is no end to the good things in life, and you can get distracted and want to purchase something of value to you. All we're saying is that it takes a little discipline and compromise from you. Unless you have so much money, you can afford to buy anything on earth. Again, it's not just buying stuff that is the problem. It's how practical that purchase is to you. You might buy 5 luxury cars and only use 2 more frequently. And if you think about it, you probably bought the other 3 on an impulse. and then realize they were somewhat impractical. Number 6. Don't give up your old regular life. It's all about a long-term plan, assuming you never have to work again. But note that while enjoying your wealth during the same time span, economic recessions and inflation might happen. But don't get alarmed. It's a long game that has to be taken a day at a time. You still have to pay your bills and so on. Even more importantly, you need to maintain your credit score, or at least update it. This means paying your old debts or mortgages and continuing on that same path of financing the obligations you had before you got rich. Number 7. Investment is vital. It takes money to make money. Also, the best approach to managing wealth is a money in and money out method. If your accountant says the wealth you obtained is finite, you might need to start planning how to replenish what you take out. A life based on spending alone will only deplete your wealth. If this goes unchecked, you might overdraw your account. There are other things that consume your money too. We've mentioned the maintenance of a wealthy lifestyle and even the paying of huge taxes. Sometimes the windfall is just about enough to cater to you for only half your lifetime, so you have to make up the rest. For example, you could decide to return to work by starting a business, or simply just invest your money in the stock exchange. This is so you can extend your wealth way more. Number 8. Windfall or wages. There are schemes out there that can help you manage your wealth by paying you a predetermined wage every month rather than having to deal with a lump sum on your front burner. This helps to keep you level-headed going forward. In addition, your team of legal, accountancy, and tax experts can help you decide whether you want to receive an annuity on a regular basis for an extended period. On paper, this is a great idea. Plus, it's your money after all, so you don't have to grapple with the burden of how and when to allocate funds for one thing or another, or even the distraction of being constantly reminded that you have so much money. Again, this will keep you grounded. Number 9. Cut your coat accordingly. Money doesn't grow on trees, and you must first honestly believe that before you try to help someone who might be in need. Most times, these same people are indirectly testing the waters. Also, statistics show that most people who borrow money could actually do without it. They usually try because they can. Otherwise, whatever they need the money for can generally be achieved in some other way if they look inwards. So it would do you a great deal of good to scrutinize any request for help that comes your way. Here's a scenario. You fully pay up the medical bills for someone requesting for public assistance on TV, and then that person doesn't survive the surgery. So you must endeavor not to lose your marbles or become impressionable because you're rich. The hard rules of life still apply to you as it does to family and friends around you. You might even give your twin brother half of all your wealth, and it turns out to ruin him because he got it for free, unlike yourself, who was humbled to the point of buying a lottery ticket. Of course, your loved ones will not see things the way you do, and you must constantly remind them of real life. Number 10. Giving to charity. A proper structure must be in place before you can give to charity. This is because you want your gesture to have a real impact and not go to waste. This is different from helping family and friends who might start to think they are entitled. Although, there's nothing wrong with that, especially if they have supported you all your life. But in the case of giving to charity, there is always some level of oversight. Did you know that some governments look into charitable donations to identify fraud? Either way, you can be rest assured that no one is trying to take advantage of you. You can talk to your lawyer about how to proceed. Of course, this is assuming you feel the urge to be generous. And just so you're sure, your money is going somewhere and doing much good. Number 11. Don't become a jerk or an outlaw. Finally, the first part of this video has now been rounded up. They say money doesn't change who you are, but it only amplifies things. So if you were a nice guy before you became rich, you would likely remain that way after becoming wealthy. Also, forget what you see in gangster movies. Money doesn't make you invisible, nor does it give you a long life or buy you love. And if you're the rude type, you'd find that people start to avoid you irrespective of your wealth. You would think wealth would win you some respect, but instead people will begin to take you for granted. More so, you're not above the law because you're rich. That having been said, let's move on to the fun parts of how to live if you suddenly become rich. Number 12. Facelift. You can do whatever you have to do to clean yourself up as far as you don't go overboard. There is a fine line between an A cup and a D cup, if you catch our drift. There are surgical procedures that are less invasive to help give you your desired facelift, and they don't have to involve a barrage of surgical procedures. It could be something as simple as whitening your teeth or buying contact lenses instead of glasses. Remember that maintaining your looks should be an ongoing activity. Also, looking more attractive has its benefits. You're more likely to meet confident people who are not frustrated in life. Statistics show that beautiful people are more likely to succeed in life. They are the ones who get hired more. They get to go on better quality dates and have a better social life all around. And that is where your true happiness begins. But go easy on the Botox though. You don't want to end up like Simon Cowell. Number 13. Tone your physique and get ripped. It's mainly about being healthier because you want to enjoy your newfound wealth for as long as possible. You can get a gym membership and especially a personal trainer too. Of course, you can afford one now. A trainer is essential to focus your body training energy. Otherwise, while training on your own, you will likely lose interest at some point. But the results are worth it when you start to admire your transformation in the mirror. One more thing you could do is invest time or money in a sauna. You could get one set up at home, or you could visit a health and wellness facility that has one. Going into a sauna once a week reduces your chance of developing a heart condition by 27%. And if you increase the frequency of your visits, that percentage can double. Scientists have also figured that being in the vicinity of high temperatures releases a substance in the body called dynorphin. This triggers your enzymes into tissue repair mode. Number 14. Nighty-night. 1/3 of your life goes into sleep, so the need for a great mattress, pillow, and linen setup cannot be overemphasized. Only poor people think all beds are the same. You'd be surprised at the type of innovation that has gone into producing really great mattresses, and these mattresses cost a lot. And once you buy them, you'd immediately be able to tell the difference. Henceforth, your sleep will never be the same again. A good night's sleep is essential to your well-being, so why not? You're better rested and able to face your day, and this has a ripple effect on your entire lifestyle. Number 15. Your feeding arrangement. It would be best if you didn't eat because you're starving. Rich people eat for nourishment and the experience. So it's 5 Michelin star restaurants all the way if you can afford it. The point is you should emphasize quality over quantity now that you can spend a little more on food. Cheap food is mainly meant to fill you up until you're hungry again. And more likely than not, it lacks in taste. And so the vicious cycle continues. You eat cheap foods to fill your belly, but not satisfy your appetites. So you're constantly feeling hungry, but it's not really from deep down in your belly, but only that what you ate didn't satisfy you emotionally. Otherwise, when you eat for quality, you are better fed on all levels, and so there's no more stress eating for you. Number 16. Time is money. Getting a windfall could probably mean you would have a lot of free time on your hands. You might want to consider going on holiday more often, and you also have more time to pursue the things you really want to do. It's also a good time to whip out your bucket list and to start striking stuff off it. Now you can really sit down to plan out your schedule without your life being dictated by a paid job. Most adults don't have a life outside of their 9-to-5 jobs. Even their social life is dictated by work. Most of their friends are more likely from work. In short, work rules their lives. But if you didn't have to report to work every morning, you'd find that you feel less pressured about life in general. Number 17. Change your zip code. Where you end up living might be the most important decision you'd make in your life, so you must pick your new location carefully. For instance, you don't want to end up in a city with a high crime rate. There are a number of lists out there that rank the best places to live worldwide, so you can start by Googling that. Also, certain cities have a higher standard of living than others, and unless you have a lot more money, knowing your place would be better in the long run. A general rule would be to go where the money is. At the same time, you must realize you can achieve more with your money if you're humble. And the disparity in the prices of goods in two separate cities comes down to prestige. Otherwise, the lesser city functions just as well as the highbrow city, but perhaps you can afford the pricier option. Number 18. outsourcing your life. If you have money, you can outsource almost every task you don't want to do yourself. From walking your dog, stocking your pantry, cleaning the house, and even house sitting, you can pay someone else to do these chores. If you already have a lawyer and an accountant on retainer, then cleaners and gardeners shouldn't be much of a stretch. You can even automate your bill payments and not have to ever worry that you're overdue. All you need to do is check the electronic receipts once or twice a year to be sure everything is in order. Number 19. Quality time with loved ones. You owe everything to your nuclear family, and perhaps a lot less to your extended family. You can help them only when you see the need to help. But remember that boundaries are essential and have to be maintained. You have your own responsibilities too, and you don't want to end up with other people's problems. So only help as far as you can and leave the rest. The truth is, adult life is complicated. But fortunately, most adults understand the dynamics in play when it comes to money. No one should single-handedly be funding another person's life for nothing. On the flip side, however, your first responsibility is to your own nuclear family. And it's usually not just about the money and lavishing gifts on them. You need to be there for your family because the relationships are what keep you happy, not the money. Number 20. Get a makeover. When buying new clothes, you must prioritize quality over quantity and timelessness over trends. Luxury clothing brands have one thing in common. Their clothes and accessories are built to last. So this means you own fewer but dependable clothing. Remember Steve Jobs? May God bless his soul. He was only known to wear a black turtleneck sweater on blue jeans and some sneakers. You might want to try that idea out too. It doesn't even have to be a sweater. It could be a specific pinstripe suit on a royal blue shirt. All we're saying is you can afford to have a signature look now that you're rich. Alternatively, you can even employ the services of a stylist. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button for more updates. Bye.